around the world you can hear them. Hey, 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 talking about news and kind of funny stuff. Hey, 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 Mag-Room, Mag-Room, the Mag-Room, the Mag-Room.
Blockbuster ever open in Cheshire?
I think so.
That happened
But
in
I
New
believe it was
Milford.
after I was evicted.
There was three video stores, I think, in New Milford.
I only remember
It was
two.
what was it called? Video World. My mom worked at Video World. I worked at Network Video for a while, so we were in competing
Really?
video. We didn't work there at the same time, though.
What was it like at the dinner table?
I just couldn't. Mom would get a new loaner at her store, and she couldn't talk about it. Some new video that was
Did you
coming
talk
out that they were
pricing
testing
or
out.
anything ever?
Nice. I used to throw out some fake prices we were thinking about just to throw them off the case.
So you were a clerk at a video store?
Yeah, for like 2 years.
What did you any good like perks or good stories from those 2 years?
Well, the guy
Like,
who
did you get
who was
free rentals or anything like that?
well, he was kind of cheap. He used to always tell me I had to pay for the tax, which was like 29 cents. So that means the movies were probably like $3.
Why would you even bother doing that?
I did. If I left before he,
What kind of jerk off would do that?
if I closed the store, I just took him home. I was like, nobody's renting these overnight.
Right, yeah, if you bring it back tomorrow.
It's like, it's ridiculous.
What was his name? What was your boss's name? Do you remember?
Lalette Barman.
It was a man?
Yep.
Lalette?
He was Indian.
I've never heard that name before. And I'm very familiar with Indian first names. Bakhtari?
He was a nice guy. It just was a weird policy.
Yeah.
And then so Blockbuster opened in the same plaza that he was in.
I bet he liked that.
No, but he had to stay. He sued sort of much like we talked about the lawsuits of tacos and sandwiches.
Yeah.
So he sued the plaza because
plaza.
it said you could only, and so he had to stay open while the lawsuit was going on. It was so
lost all his
sad
money.
to watch. Well, it was just he didn't buy any new movies. He made rentals like $1. He was just like trying to, because Blockbuster was like so much better.
Sure. Well,
They had
that's
all the new
that's like
movies.
America in a nutshell right there.
Yeah. And then Blockbuster got out of business as well. So.
Yeah. And I think the guy, wasn't it Wayne Huizenga who owned Blockbuster?
Mm-hmm.
And I believe his daughter went to Wake Forest. I could be wrong. Our alma
really?
mater. I think so.
While we were there?
I don't remember that portion of the question. I don't think so. I think it was after we were there.
Oh. I was going to say, why couldn't you have married her?
Remember Coach K's daughter went to school with us.
I know. You really should have married some rich woman.
What? Me? Why do I have to
Yeah.
be married again?
Because then you'll get you'd had some dough to put into our podcast.
Oh, okay. It's for the podcast.
Imagine you had that Huizenga money behind this podcast.
And name. I'd probably take her name. I'd be Mark
That's true.
Einloth slash hyphen Huizenga.
Nobody does the slash
Maybe
last
I'll bring
name.
that back. I've always liked semicolons. Maybe I'll do Mark
Einloth
Einloth semicolon Huizenga.
You'd probably blow the minds of the DMV people. You'd never be able to get a
I
license.
could never get on a plane again. That would be an issue.
No. And they'd always spell it wrong.
But the podcast, you saying the podcast would be successful? Maybe I can buy my own plane?
Yeah, it's true.
Okay.
Well, yeah, I think with the Huizenga, I don't think you're buying anything with our podcast money.
No, but we got the Huizenga hyphen semicolon Einloth money behind it.
It's true.
I could throw a little in there. I got something.
It's true. Yeah, you're like, honey, here's my $12 I made.
I worked 40 hours this week. Here's $480.
To add to your $26 million?
Yeah. I like to do my part, baby. Now let's go see what your dad's doing. I'd like to get on his good side.
Although probably he just lost all his money, so.
Yeah, he's always staying the night at our house because he's getting evicted from mansions and stuff.
Yeah, she saved her money, but he blew all his money in the Blockbuster.
The Blockbuster.
Blockbuster Video had a chance to buy Netflix. That would have
Yeah.
been smart.
Don't want it. We're putting all our money in the mag room. Us Hyzengas.
You got my new son-in-law, Einloth
He's
Colin
hilarious.
Hyzenga.
The next big thing in comedy, they say.
You want $10 million for Netflix? Well, I'm putting $10 million into that podcast.
Mm-hmm. 6 listeners, you say.
I liked this job. It was fun.
Hell
I
yeah.
told the story about we had porn movies as well. I think I told this story already on this.
I kind of feel like maybe you said it before. I don't know.
Yeah, there was some guy who came in who they were alphabetical, and he would get 3 in alphabetical order every other day.
He went through all the pornography letter
Yes.
by letter?
Yes.
No way.
I never had the guts to just have him waiting for him when he came in the next, like when I saw him, just to like take him off the shelf and have him waiting. I never had the guts to do that to him.
He honestly, that's how he strictly just went letter by letter through the
Yes.
alphabet and watched every porn movie?
I mean, I don't know if he got all the way. I don't know if from the
Right.
time I was there he got all the way through. And then what do you do when you get through? Do you start over again?
On the way here, I'm just thinking of you being an 18-year-old kid. On the way here, I ordered pasta, and then I ordered gnocchi from this place. I was going to bring it here and try to eat quickly before we came on the show. Didn't get it. He called me back like 8 minutes after I placed the order over the phone. I got a pickup order. Can I get the gnocchi? But I don't want the bolognese sauce. Can I please get vodka sauce on it? Let me see if I could do this. And I'm like, I've done it.
Mark, let me see what I can do.
I've done it 30 times before. I know you can do it. So I ended up not getting gnocchi. I just got a Coke from Burger King.
That's a good substitute.
So I said, one large Coke, please. And he says the price. And I said, thank you, ma'am. And I pull forward, and it's a boy. It's like a 17-year-old boy at the window, and his manager. They both have the headsets on, and she's laughing at him. And I was like, wow. It was like
You should have said nothing.
No, I said, did I just call you ma'am? And he laughs, and I said, I swear to God, it was like loud over there. And as I was saying ma'am, I thought, is that a guy's voice that I'm saying this to? And then
You just made it worse.
yeah, well they were both laughing at the end.
You should have been like, hey, man. Thanks,
Yeah.
man.
I say man. I call it. I'm from the '60s. I teleported here from 1969. I call everybody man.
Because now it's a story that got told in the break room for sure.
Yeah. Hey, some guy called Tyler Ma'am. Then Tyler
And then
gets,
they threw French fries at Tyler for a half an hour.
or he gets gay bashed to death, drugged behind a truck or something.
Wow. That would be quite a bad turn.
I'd feel terrible.
Yeah.
It made the papers, and they were like, they say the incident stemmed from a man calling Tyler ma'am over the intercom at a drive-through.
We're
"Oh
still
my
searching
God."
for that man.
I didn't do it on purpose. I would never have hurt Tyler's feeling. It was loud. There was tons of traffic.
And then you become like a national news story. You're on trial.
Your thing where you want the mag room to get popular. I'm the new
They
face,
they
face of
put some
hatred
new-
in the United States.
Some new law in Florida about how you're allowed to call everyone ma'am if you want to. Protection. What would make me feel the best? You say, this is what I want. You get like milkshake and I did this in New York. I was in New York. We went to New York City on Wednesday. And for dinner, we're in Grand Central Station. We had like 30 minutes till our train. So there's a bunch of restaurants in there. And I see this like seafood place. I'm like, I like seafood. So they have
Did you chew up your food and open your? Remember that joke when you were a kid? Do you like seafood?
Oh, yeah.
And then you chew all your food and open your mouth and say,
Yeah.
"See."
They would just think they would think I was a normal person in New York at that point.
Yeah. Throw 50
But
cents at you.
I got like a crab roll, like a lobster roll, but they had it with a crab, and it was decidedly not good. And I was like, why did I order that? Like, I knew that in Central Park or Grand Central Station, getting a crab roll was not a good idea.
I can't believe you made that decision. That is not a Jarrod decision at all to me.
I know.
That's like that.
Well,
almost
I've changed.
Makes me,
I've changed lately. You haven't
That's
seen
what I
me
mean.
in like
I was going to
6
say it
months.
almost makes me like you more. You know?
Yeah, but I guess I just wish my brain knew when I ate that I was going to be like, yeah, that's not really what you want.
So you think someday they'll have implants into your brain that not only override your own ability to order something that you want, but then someone else will be able to read that thought in your mind?
Yes, they know what I should get.
Would really want. Yeah.
It will make me feel the best. My kids ordered cheeseburgers from Shake Shack, and they looked really good. After I was like, I should have just got a burger.
Crab roll.
Yeah, they
really
had the lobster rolls were like $50. I'm like, I'm not spending $50 on.
At Grand Central Station?
Yeah, it's New York City, man. It said it was fresh from Maine.
What kind of was it? Was it like walking up to a Sbarro? Like you're in a train station?
Yeah, sort of like that. But it was a little fancy looking. They'd spent some money.
It's interesting. I don't know that I've ever seen like a lobster on a menu in a train and I've not been in a lot of train stations in my life, but I've been in a few train stations in my life.
Yeah, they had lobster rolls, crab rolls, and shrimp rolls. That's all they made.
It's interesting.
Yeah. I thought it was going to be good. It was fair.
Yeah.
I was just disappointed. I was like, this is going to be good.
Wished you got the Sbarros in retrospect.
Yeah, they didn't have... What else did they had? Shake Shack was good, looked good.
It's funny. In my mind, like we're telling this story, and I just realized that in my mind I'm picturing Grand Central Station in like the movies in 1969, and I know that it's now that I think about it, I'm like, I'm sure it's wicked, clean looking, and I don't know.
It is super nice.
Yeah.
So it's about 10 years ago they redid the ceiling. The ceiling's like super cool. It's got like this, what's that called? You go in and there's like stars on the roof. Planetarium. It's like a planetarium type, but over the whole roof. It's a humongous building.
I probably haven't been in there in at least not since I've lived in Maryland. I mean, where the do I live? Florida. Maryland.
And then the downstairs has all these restaurants. But the city was super fun. We went to the Intrepid, which is an aircraft carrier.
Okay, that sounded familiar.
So it was a full aircraft carrier from the World War II through the Vietnam War. And
was that the one that they took off from when they dropped off? Well, you're not gonna. I should stop getting excited about this and just let you finish your story. Go ahead. Sorry.
Dropped the atomic bomb? I don't think so.
Well, no, but did they deliver the atomic bomb from whatever island that was to the people closer to Japan?
I don't remember that story.
So I
think that was FedEx that did that. They FedExed it over.
Am I thinking of a movie?
Yeah.
No, there's a great the Indianapolis, the USS Indianapolis. If you ever get a chance, just read the story about the USS Indianapolis. It was a ship that went down. That's supposedly the biggest shark attack in history. They say that all these tiger sharks killed like 900 of. Well, they didn't all die by shark attack. Long story short,
why didn't they just stay on the boat?
The boat went down, and the guys that were on the boat,
I see.
It was so they were delivering the bomb. They were coming back from delivering the bomb to drop on Okinawa. The ship goes down. All these guys end up in the water. I think it was like 12 or 1,300 guys end up in the water. There were only I think it was either a little over or a little under 300 survivors. And they say that a lot of guys died because when the boat goes down, all the oil comes up, and then you get like a poisoning of some sort. But these guys were just floating in the water for 4 days. I think it was 4 days, and a lot of them died from this like oil exposure, dehydration. But a lot of them got eaten by sharks too. Yeah, it's a terrible story. And if you ever want the saddest,
feel-good story,
there's probably, I would imagine they've all died by now. But there's an interview on YouTube of one of the survivors of it, and it's just.
Did they see it?
No, was it on video? You mean?
No, the survivor. Like he witnessed shark attacks
Yeah.
and oil poisoning.
Yeah,
So how did he live?
He was just one of.
Was there like a couple?
300
There was
out of 13.
There was like 2 or 3
He'd
rowboats.
be like,
some
Steve,
guys
go ahead
were-
of me. Go look right over there. And then the shark would get Steve, and he'd be like, "Whoo, man, I
Good thing I didn't go
I
that
gotta
way.
keep hoodwinking all my friends into getting eaten by
Yeah.
sharks instead of me."
Nobody listened to Bill.
Man, what's he saying over there? Nothing, Bill. Nothing. We're just floating in the water. Yeah, dude,
Oh,
it's the most terrifying. And the guys that survived it, there's still like, there's a YouTube video of a Indianapolis survivor being interviewed, and it's just the saddest thing in the world to see a grown man recount these things. And
That's how many people were dying then that didn't even probably make like a big story.
So the story behind it is, this is all in Jaws, by the way. The what's his name tells the story because
I remember that scene. I didn't remember the
it's
details.
it's the greatest what's it
Monologue?
called? Monologue in cinematic history,
Yes.
as far as I'm concerned.
That guy was loaded every day on the set. too.
Yeah. They had. I remember. I think that one was his second. He had to do it. They were going to try to do that monologue one day, and they ended up doing it the next day because he was too drunk. That's what I heard.
Yep.
I wasn't there or anything. They didn't allow me on set.
Yeah, they thought you were going to
Richard
get eaten by
Dreyfuss-
a shark.
Richard Dreyfuss had a protection order against me. I was a huge Richard Dreyfuss fan ever since.
Rick Dreyfuss. You kept calling him Rick.
Rick! Rick, you know I love you.
It's Einloth Colon Heisenga over here.
You're gonna turn down this semicolon Hazenga money? How do we get onto this thing?
But I went to the Intrepid.
Oh, right. So it may have been the boat that was coming back. Wait, no, because it sank. That was the end.
Yeah, it was.
No, but there was. I don't know. Oh,
And
maybe
you said
maybe
it-
was.
and you
Maybe
said
it was
it was-
stationed. Maybe it was stationed in the Pacific when all that stuff was going on, and maybe it had some sort of role in it. Anyway,
And you said it was the Indianapolis anyway.
well, that's the one that went down. I'm just saying.
Yes.
You were
So
on an
wh-
aircraft carrier. They were. This was not an aircraft. I
Okay.
f***ed the whole. I screwed your
There's
whole
lots.
story. I took every ounce of common threads out of your story.
I don't have any stories about 900 people getting eaten, so you kind of one-upped all my
Yeah.
Intrepid stories.
Sorry
we did go
about
in
that.
we got to go in a submarine.
Did you go like thousands of feet down?
And it was
underwater?
one of the first nuclear submarines, and these guys would just, for like 75 days, they'd be under the water near Russia, and they just couldn't do it. They just would sit there, and to launch the nukes, then the sub had to surface. So they were like, if we ever do this, we're just going to be dead. I mean, they might have probably been dead anyway, but there wasn't that many nukes then. But they're like, we'll just be dead because we got to surface. We shoot this missile, and then Russia will know exactly
you
where we
couldn't
are.
shoot
now.
it from underwater. You
No.
say. Okay.
So they said the weirdest time. They had all these interviews in there with the guys on
Wait,
video.
what? When was this from? What time frame was this from? What war? What era?
It was like the 50s.
Okay.
It was like right after.
Dude, being in a submarine.
Oh no,
is a
and
nu-
to the 60s.
Oh, you said it was the
'cause-
first nuclear submarine.
because they said they were on there when Kennedy died.
Oh yeah, they
But
were
all
underwater. Yeah.
all they heard on the news, they used to get the news, I guess, somehow, and all they heard was Kennedy died, but none of them knew how. They're like, is this the start of a war? Like, did Russia kill Kennedy?
Right.
They thought they were going to have to shoot it. They thought they were done. And then they found out that
They probably
it
did.
was
It's probably a lie. They probably found out when they were like on a beach
nice.
in Hawaii somewhere.
No, the guys, like, I mean, it was crazy. And you walk through it, and it's so small. Like, they
Yeah.
would just spend 70 days, and we walked through, and
Is that what's 70 days? Is that how long you could stay under?
I guess, I don't. That's how long they submerged for, 75 days or something. And then you could walk through the aircraft carrier, which was awesome. And then they had a space shuttle in the aircraft carrier, like a legit space shuttle.
That's kind of
That
a
you could
pretty
see.
cool flex. Yeah, we have a spacecraft, but it's on an aircraft carrier. You okay with
And
that?
and you know how much of the aircraft carrier it took up? Like,
6%.
well, yeah, like 1%. It was like in a building at the end of the aircraft carrier. So after the wars, it then was the thing that rescued the astronauts. Because when the astronauts went to space, right, they came back down to Earth and like crashed
Landed
in the water.
the Pacific Ocean, yeah.
Yeah, so this ship, and they had one of the things the guys went in, and there were like 2 guys in it. Brennan was like, me and Teddy couldn't fit in that thing, so I don't understand
Really?
how they got in it. So
did that boat just kind of happen to be near it? They were like, oh my God, look what happened over there. It looks like a spaceship. We should remember that building on the back over there? We should put that spaceship in the building. They're like, oh my God, there's people alive in there. We're going to be fucking heroes.
there was some banging going on. I think the guys might have still been in there.
Oh! We got here from Mars. I was on Venus.
And they had one of the building with the space shuttle was all about the moon landing. It had the race to like get to the moon between
and Russia.
And Kennedy's speech it started with, who said by the end of the decade we would get to the moon.
By the end of this decade, we'll get to the moon.
Yep, and then he gets shot, so Lyndon LBJ says we're still going to do it.
We're still going to do it.
I think he was Texan, so...
We're still going to do it. We'll get to that moon sooner or later. Don't y'all worry about that.
That there moon.
That there moon's going to be owned by the U.S. of A, I swear. I like Woody Harrelson. I watched the... do you remember the joke he had when he first came on Cheers? His first episode of Cheers?
No.
So he walks in the door, and he's like, "Oh man!" And so he walks in. He's on the center of the screen, and he's like looking around. And Sammy's like, "Can I help you?" And he's like, "Yeah, I'm an old friend of Coach's. My name's Woody." Sam says,
"Boy, he had a lot of friends. I don't remember him mentioning a Woody."
Well, we never met. We were kind of like pen pals.
You exchanged letters?
No, pens.
Pen pals.
I like it. That would be pretty cool to mail each other cool pens. Maybe when we drive across, we're doing our road trip soon. That was one of the things we were going to talk about.
You can get
today.
pens with the names of each place you're at.
Yeah, I can mail them to you.
Oof, this sounds fun. Especially if you go to a town that has a funny name, like Intercourse, Pennsylvania. Do you think would Michelle be cool with you planning your trip around going to towns with funny
Michelle,
sexual names?
I gotta add 2 hours to our trip to get to Anal Fisher, Utah.
Jarrod, what's in West Pennis, Arizona? Anal Fisher? Like, that wouldn't be a name. Come on, Jarrod.
I know they got a lot of cliffs and caverns.
Right.
Yeah, so that was our preview. We're going, next week, a week from tomorrow. Nice. This is our last episode for a while. So yeah, excited. Did you bring any road trip stuff? Because I asked you last week for road trip tips. Or
would you mind if I just excuse myself to the bathroom very quickly, and then I'll tell you my road trip tips that I did bring?
Sure.
Okay, hold on. All right, so I didn't do any road trip stuff this week. My dad had a stroke on Sunday night.
Sorry.
So
I bled in with a laugh on that. That's smart.
Yeah, it's real insensitive to kind of do that because it's a medical thing, Jarrod.
Sure.
It requires attention and stuff. So, no, he's doing well. I guess I've been preoccupied with that. But I kind of like you were going to be able to go record either Thursday or Sunday this week. I don't know. Felt like it might be interesting to talk, like, when you've been thinking about life and stuff all week,
Okay.
So I didn't really bring anything, but I feel like
the great part is my only other thought thing was about why Donkey Kong is called Donkey and
we
not
can jump
a
right
gorilla.
into that. We don't have to. We don't have to focus on the most serious thing going on in my life.
Because my kids were playing Mario Brothers, and I was like, why the hell is his name Donkey Kong? So I wrote that down, but that seems kind of small next to what you brought up.
No. We can do your story. That's cool. We'll jump right into that. I've always wondered why they call a monkey Donkey Kong. Is there some... So, monkey and donkey are sort of spelled similarly. Like,
I know.
It's just one letter difference. So, I've always thought there must be something lost in translation there.
Like they messed it up?
Somehow. Yeah.
Or he's like, is Kong like king? Is he king of the donkeys?
Yeah.
Because there's no donkeys.
But why wouldn't they have called him King Donkey then?
There's no donkeys in the game at all. Maybe you're a Kong if you're king of something, but you're not of the same species.
Well, yeah, that might.
So you would be like, you wouldn't be a Donkey King, you'd be a Donkey Kong.
Okay, I don't even know how to take that. I mean, I don't think I'd make a good Donkey King, to be honest with you. So I'm probably better off being a Donkey Kong.
Yeah, like if you do you think you're the head of your household even with Lily?
No.
So
I've never been like, nobody's ever looked to me for
no, but like over Lily, I mean.
No, Lily does whatever the she wants.
So Lily's a human Kong then. Because she's in charge of you.
Yeah, but by that you're saying that there were donkeys in the game, and that takes me just back to the whole misspelling thing.
Well, that was the backstory where he ruled all the donkeys, and then that fell apart, so he got all mad. And
I wonder if there's any what's the most famous misspelling in history? You know what I mean? Like, there has to be something in the history of the world.
A 1631 edition of the King James Bible mistakenly says, "Thou shalt commit adultery."
Nice.
An ad in the 1988 Yellow Pages that was originally intended to promote exotic travel instead advertised erotic travel.
Nice. I responded to that ad. I remember that. Would you say it was 87? I was 11? Yeah. I was just hitting my stride with the ladies.
NASA probe that was destroyed shortly after launch due to a missing overbar in its guidance system algorithm. That seems a little...
That's the biggest one so
sad.
far, I think. Unless a lot of people got duped into erotic travel.
Yeah, so, I mean, we could go back to your dad. I didn't really mean to...
No, I know.
Hijack it with Donkey
No, I know.
Kong.
I know. He's doing good. I guess I just wanted to give well wishes to him, whatever.
Yeah.
And
I'm sure that was a tough day.
Thought it'd be fun to break the news to you on the air rather than before. Thought that might make for a more...
It's fun?
Well, like good for entertainment, yeah. My dad has to have something like this happen.
So should I interview you about it, or
Sure.
is that uncomfortable?
No, go for it.
So what goes through your mind when this stuff happens?
So my mom, I found out at 5 in the morning on Monday morning. So, and she calls me, so I look at my pillow and my phone's ringing and it's mom, and you just, if it's 4:55 in the morning and your mom's calling me, something's wrong.
Yeah.
So I'm immediately in panic. Went to the hospital. When I got there, what was your question? I feel like I'm answering.
What was going through your mind?
Yeah, what was going through my mind? That might have just lost my dad or something like that.
Sure.
But she told me, she said he had a stroke. He's okay. Come down when you can. And I was like, I could probably be there after breakfast, maybe 9:30, 10ish. I like to get it on Monday mornings. I like a nice omelet.
Starbucks has a really long drive-through line that morning.
Sucks, Mom. But to drive all the way across town to the other Starbucks would be like going to the video store and not
and
finding
they have this muffin I really like. Just doesn't make my morning complete without a muffin.
I promise you I'll be there, but it'll be closer to lunchtime.
Do you want anything? Do you want a muffin at all,
I'll bring you guys all coffees, yeah. So I went to the hospital, and when it was a little heartbreaking at first because he didn't get any facial droop, but he can talk and his mind's there and everything, but he was having trouble with his coordination, I guess you'd say.
Okay.
And so I stayed with him that day till about 4:00, and when I left, he was already getting when we first got there, you'd say touch your nose with your left hand, and he'd do it with his right hand, and within 6-7 hours, I forget exactly how long I was there, but less than one day, he was getting back. Said when I left, I said, say goodbye to me with your left hand. He raised his without any real hesitation, raised his left hand.
Would you say that you made that happen since you were there? Or?
I'd like to think I'd had a part in it,
Yeah. I just didn't know if you had a special program you put him through, that you've been
my own therapy type of thing.
Yeah.
No, I don't. But now that you say it, maybe I could heal. I don't know. I could see myself being a healer. I've always thought of myself standing in front of a revival tent of people. That seems like something that might work. So he was doing just even in the course of like 8 hours, and I kept telling my mom and sister, I was like, it was weird. It's like almost watching, you know, it's scary to me, but at the same time, I'm like, he's got a lot going on. Like,
did the doctors say that was normal, or
they were impressed. They said he was making great progress and everything.
He was special.
They might be the best patient we've ever had, and they started throwing like at first they were just having him like toss the ball back and forth between his hands, and then by the end they had Nolan Ryan's been retired for a little while, but he came in, he was just throwing him some curves and stuff.
And all of a sudden your dad's just lacing singles. That's well, I'm sorry.
No, that's okay, thank you. He's doing good, and
he probably's most worried about the store.
Of course. Yeah. We talk, you know, we still talk through. It's nice. I mean, it's nice. That's not what I meant. It's, you know, he's.
It's nice.
It's community. It's great having my dad have a stroke. You
can't always wish for these things.
Yeah. It's a blessing in disguise.
It's nice to have a bright side, though, so I think that's what you're saying.
No, he's doing good, and he, you know, like. The way, as much as I rail against technology and things like that, we can talk throughout the day very easily, and it's nice to always be able to be in touch with him. So he's been having me do some of his stuff for his store, and it's
you're probably making a lot of the doctor's decisions.
I've been transferring lots of his money into my own account because it's great. I'm like, holy, I didn't know how much you had in there.
That's great.
What am I doing?
Maybe we will have that Einlaut Heisenga money.
Why am I eating ramen noodles when I could be eating pizza?
That's why you ordered the gnocchi.
Yeah. I got home tonight. I was like, I don't need 2 slices of pizza. I want a whole gnocchi a la vodka sauce. Maybe a Caesar side salad.
He's like, that'll be a $3 upcharge. He's like, do you know who I am?
$3? Make it 30. Keep 27 for yourself.
Well, I'm glad he's on the upswing. The home mag room listenership is behind.
Yes.
That.
Yeah, we only have 6 listeners, and most of them are related to me. So I'm sure
you have to let me know if he needs if we need to run like a benefit or something.
Okay. For us, they're just like.
Yeah.
It is like refreshing. I don't know. Like you gain a lot of respect for people when you see how they go through things like this, you know?
For sure. They have better life outlooks than we do.
He's just like,
and value systems. I mean, they're not perfect for sure.
No, he said, he told me today, he said, I'm perfect. I'll get through this. I'm perfect.
But value
Dad,
systems.
He's perfect.
Yeah. He's like, we're part of, don't you remember, Mark? We're part of the perfect generation.
No, he just wants to be out there. He just wants to be out there doing something, making a difference, solving a problem. And it's nice. It's like, that's a good type of person to have.
Living in the moment.
Yeah.
I'm not great at that. I'm trying to get better.
Yeah, I'm not obviously either. I've probably thought about death this week more than my father has.
Live like Jim.
Wow. That's a pretty.
We got a new hashtag
that in here. Yeah. I don't know. Like it happens, but I'm obviously very worried. But I'm also like, I just know he'll be fine for a while. You know, like he's obviously. Maybe I shouldn't put that on the air. Maybe that jinxes things. But
yeah, that will be
like
tough.
He's
edit.
just I'm gonna leave it. It. Dad, I'm leaving it in because I know you and I believe in you. Please just yeah. No, he's just he's just tough and it's the other thing about going through stuff is like I have a very tough family and everybody like cares about each other and I don't know. It was
like tough in a good way, not like they're tough to be around.
My sister put a knife to my throat in the parking lot. I was like, Jesus,
like,
Lori,
Mark,
Dad's in the hospital.
Dad knows some stuff about it.
Yeah, go for it. I feel like I needed to talk tonight.
I feel like these are actually decent ones for conversation.
Okay, bring it.
Did you ever go to summer camp, Mark?
Like a sleepaway camp? No.
Just any kind of camp, day camp? Or...
Yes. Oh, no, I went to basketball sleepaway camp. Yes. Remember the jerk off?
Yeah,
the first time I jerked off.
Yes, that's when you fell in love the first time.
Sorry, Dad, I didn't bring that up. It's supposed to be your episode.
It's quite a segue, yeah.
Yes,
Yeah.
I went to basketball camp when I was 13.
How about other like day camps and stuff?
My sister was a camper. She went to and she loved it. They went to something having to do with religion, like Bible day camp or Bible school camp, or I can't remember what they called it, but she went to those types of things. What else might I
What did
have
you
done?
do when you were younger, when your parents were working, or you just didn't?
Like in the summertime?
Yeah.
We belonged to a tennis and swim club, so it was right up the street. So I'd ride my bike up there. I was on the swim team, and then when we got out of swim practice, I'd run up the hill and play tennis all the rest of the day and go home. And
So you played tennis for like 6 hours?
I used to play tennis for probably 11 hours or something like that. I used to
A day.
There'd be times when I'd go to
You
swim
think
practice
you'd
in the
be
morning.
you think you'd be better?
At tennis, you've never seen me play
Yes.
tennis, so why don't you try to stop insulting me? I bet I
I
could
know
beat you.
I know you're pretty good, but you're not like pro or anything. You didn't make any money.
Blew out my knee.
Oh, that's it. I see.
Yeah.
It would have
I was
been
supposed to be
Federer, Einloth, Colin,
supposed to be on the
Izenga,
tour.
and
Yeah. And then I met beautiful, what's her first name? Ashley?
Cindy.
Cindy's Izenga Einloth. Hyphen.
Did she go with the backslash as well, or just?
No, she makes all the money. She gets to keep her
I
last
see.
name.
Yep.
Yeah. My dad's not that proud of me for that, taking a woman's name.
Sure, but
He's old-fashioned that way.
He still loves you. So yeah, I used to go. We went to this lame camp. I mean, I think it was just like hangout camp. We didn't do anything. It was like your parents
Was it
dropped
on a
you
lake?
off there. No, it was at the school that we were at all year.
Oh, okay.
So that's all I remember. My kids go to cool camps. Like Brennan and Teddy go to one where you're like outdoors and you learn all this cool outdoor stuff to do. Emma goes to like a theater camp where they put on a production. Like they're like legit
Yeah.
camp experiences now. So this one I saw in the newspaper is a camp where you spend a day at Chick-fil-A. And
Okay.
basically you work at the Chick-fil-A for kids ages 5 to 12.
Sounds
Your
like
parents pay
cheap labor.
$35.
Oh, that's nice. You have to pay for this, huh?
You get a kid's meal, a t-shirt, a name tag, and a snack. And you get to learn the behind-the-scenes inner workings of the franchise location.
That sounds underhanded to me, but maybe kids like it.
Yeah, it booked right up.
Really? People signed up for it.
Yeah, like they filled. They didn't have any room left.
Is it just one day, or do you have to do that all summer long?
I don't know. I think you signed up for one day, but you probably could keep signing up. I thought it was genius. You think they have them do the jobs that you got to be really small to do?
I'd want to work the fryer, I think. Right?
They did.
Or the grill.
They did.
Is there a grill at a Chick-fil-A?
Probably they're like grilled chicken.
They do have grilled chicken, right?
I don't know how they make it.
I think I'm gonna try.
My parents never got me a summer camp at a Chick-fil-A, so I don't know how
Yeah.
it works.
Mine was at Long John Silver's. It sucked. It was at one of those rest stops. Why are Long John Silver's only at rest stops?
I think there was one in. Wasn't there one in Charlotte that wasn't at a rest stop? I feel like that's
Maybe.
the only one I've ever been to.
Did
We
you
used to go at lunch once in a while.
for like work?
Yeah,
Like you and your coworkers?
yeah.
That's seafood? Is it all just fried seafood?
It's fried, yeah, fried food. It was like tartar sauce and fried chicken
Yeah,
fried
I
fish
love
sandwich.
seafood, but I hate fried seafood.
Okay.
I love everything. I like things blackened or like sautéed.
I like a good white fish fried. I can eat that.
I won't not eat things. I just prefer my.
Sure.
I don't, like.
I mean, you gotta be healthy and have all your fried foods, so you gotta make sure you have that. I get it.
What are the sides at a Long John Silver's? Fries still probably.
Definitely fries. Maybe baked beans. No, you don't want baked beans with fish. Rice. I bet they have rice.
I've eaten at a Red Lobster.
Red
That's-
Lobster's a little more upscale.
You sit down and I remember sitting down. I don't think I've ever been to a Long John Silver's. You know what always has whatever plaza has a Long John Silver's also has a Nathan's Hot Dogs.
Maybe they're owned by the same place.
Maybe.
Should I look at the menu?
Long John
There's
Silver's?
one. Yeah, there's one in Plainville, Connecticut, actually with a Taco Bell. Looks like they have, let's see, where do I go to sides? Here you go. Sides, we got fries.
Coleslaw.
Coleslaw.
Let me keep
rice.
guessing. Let me keep. Okay,
Sorry.
Rice.
There's,
Greens?
let's
Some
see.
kind of greens? Like
There's 1, 2,
green
3,
beans?
4, 5, 6, 7. Green beans is one of them.
There's 7 different sides.
Yep.
Yucca? Boiled yucca?
The one of them is one you literally usually only get down south. I've never
Okra.
seen. Nope. It's
Green
a fried
tomatoes.
thing.
Fried green tomatoes.
Nope.
Hush puppies.
Hush puppies is correct. So there's 2 more.
Mashed potatoes? Like
That's a good guess, but
instant
that is
mashed
not
potatoes?
true.
Is it a vegetable or like a pasta grain thing?
One is I guess you would call it a vegetable.
Oh, corn.
Yep, corn is
Okay.
one.
I was like, what don't you know? Corn's kind of nothing.
And then the other one's another fried thing.
Cheese? Fried cheese of some
Yeah,
sort?
cheese bites, yep.
Okay.
Yeah, the other one I have, remember one time I brought in the slang words and it was kind of not that good of a story?
Yes?
Just say yes, just say yes.
yes.
So this one was another one, but this
Okay.
one's really good.
Okay. I'm listening.
So this is 10 funny vintage slang words people should start using again.
Okay.
1909, a British writer recorded
Oh, I do remember
thousands
this, yes.
of Victorian slang words to make sure they were never forgotten. So this is in Reader's Digest website, which I didn't even know Reader's Digest still existed.
I didn't know it was 1972.
Okay, first one. You got to guess what they are again.
Okay.
Mutton shunter.
Is it could you just give me like is it a noun or a verb?
Noun.
Mutton shunter. Hey, you mutton shunter. A guy that like starts trouble for no reason.
Okay. It's a good guess. It's wrong. Now, do you want me to give you the sentence they give?
Yes. So I get context clues. Yes.
Is the president in town or something? There's mutton shunters on every blasted corner.
Snipers?
It's close. Policeman.
Okay, yeah.
So next time you see
Mutton
one of them,
shunter. You know what a good in Great Britain you call a policeman an old Bill in England.
Okay.
Old Bill.
Why is that?
This one guy named Bill was the first cop ever to walk the streets of England.
He's still
They used
doing
to
it.
say, "Hey, old Bill, there's a robbery going on." I don't know. I have British friends here, and they use that word. And
I like that.
First time they said it,
British did speak so much cooler than we do.
yeah, they have great slang.
What is a mutton?
Lamb, right?
Okay.
Or sheep? Wait,
Yeah,
is
'cause
there a
they've
difference?
always-
Is there a difference between lamb and mutton? I don't know.
I don't know. I was saying if it was pig,
It's either lamb or sheep, unless those are the same thing. Are lambs and sheep the same thing? We have a lot of questions to ask.
mutton is meat from a sheep that is older than 1 year.
The sheep is older than 1 year.
Ideally 3 years old.
Okay. I don't think I've
All
ever
right.
eaten mutton.
So sheep meat has 3 different ways you can say it. Lamb for sheep in their first year. It says hogget for sheep in their second, and mutton from older sheep.
Oh. So it's like veal. Veal and the cow.
Yeah, lamb is the veal,
And cow. Or well, not
and
cow,
mutton,
but beef.
and mutton's like an old sheep.
Okay. Yeah, I think I've had lamb for sure. I don't know if I've had mutton or not.
All right, you should get this one. Second one. Giggle mug.
With a P at the beginning? Piggle mug?
No, G.
Oh. Giggle mug?
Yeah.
Giggle mug. A person who laughs a lot or a clown.
Habitually smiling face.
Okay.
So you pretty much got it.
Close.
These Miss American contestants are just a bunch of giggle mugs.
Yeah.
Remember that girl that always smiled in college?
Overly
We
happy.
should've
Overly happy.
Yeah, we should have called her a giggle mug instead.
Yeah, that's a better name than Overly Happy Girl.
That was a terrible name.
Yeah.
Overly happy girl.
Didn't I ride in a car with her for like a whole weekend once? Did she? Oh no, that was that chick Elaine.
Just for fun. You and overly happy girl.
Yeah.
Remember, I bet
put a-
you.
I put a gun to her head. I was like, put a goddamn frown on your face right now.
And she didn't. You couldn't get her to frown the whole
Yeah,
weekend.
She got me to smile in the end.
That's great. All right, third one. Fly rink.
FLYRINK.
2 words. Yep.
Like a restaurant that's
Okay, that's a good guess. It's not correct. Be sure to wear glasses if you go outside. Grandpa's fly rink is blinding today.
Well, what? I don't know. I feel like that made it more confusing to me.
Me and you kind of have fly rinks, but not really.
Oh, bald heads?
Yeah, this is a polished bald head.
Okay.
Do you ever polish your bald head?
All the time. I wear the hat all the time, but I also like to have, if the hat comes off, I like people to notice how shiny my head is. Why would you ever shine your head? I bet that's a thing that didn't go past like the 20s or 30s.
It seems like it'd be. I'm going to a wedding tomorrow. Maybe I'll shine up my head.
Please shine your head and send me a picture of it.
What would you do? How would you
My
do
dad
it?
had
even?
my dad had a stroke this week, Jared. Can you please do one thing for me? I've been sad. I've been sad all week long. Would you just
That's
shine
your
your head?
one ask? Is that I
No,
shine up my
I think
head?
It would make me happy. I've had a lot of like bad days so far.
What
this
do I
week.
shine it with?
I have no idea.
So I'll do if I can figure out. What do I shine my head with? That could
What about
come up
coconut
something.
oil?
It could have something bad.
What about coconut oil?
A scalp's natural shine comes from sebum.
From what?
This says you can reduce shine. I don't want to reduce it.
Oh, I want my head to be the shiniest object in the whole room. At this
How to
wedding.
make a bald head shiny. This is from a website called Freebird. Number 1, coconut oil.
Is that what I just said?
Did you say that?
Yeah. Yeah, I said it twice actually. Do you really just not listen to me ever?
I'm trying to read this at the same time while you're talking. It's hard.
Coconut oil.
Argan oil?
That's what I said too. I said coconut oil, and then I said it again, and then I went, "What about argan oil?"
Yeah.
I thought argon was a gas.
It's called liquid gold.
I thought that was molten gold. Isn't
It's
argon
packed-
a gas?
It's packed with vitamin E,
I should just try to
essential
make you.
fatty acids.
I should just try to make you jump around pages and read the whole time so you can't hear anything.
Right, I'm like-
Isn't argon a gas? Dear? What's the chemical symbol
What's-
for argon?
And you're like, I said that.
I thought argon makes blue when you light it up in a
How
sign.
about baby oil and vitamin E? That's number 3.
That makes sense.
Ooh, here's one. Bee bald wax. Okay, here's the next one. Juggins hunting.
Oh, come on. You know what I think that is. Here, I won't go with the obvious one. Oh, like something with jugs of like liquor, maybe a booze hound or a,
Close. You're
a
so,
bootlegger,
I mean,
someone who transports liquor.
Jess forgot all her cash at home, so she's off Juggins hunting again.
Fucking truck drivers in a parking lot.
Okay.
They had a word for that back in the 20s.
Yeah. Yep. Looking for a man who will pay for liquor. How about bags o' mystery?
Bags of mystery. Is it an everyday thing? Could you use that?
Yes. It's actually an item.
Like some kind of like food, like
Yep.
Like-
Which one?
something having to do with meat.
Yep. Well, wouldn't you know what it was inside? You think
Pork.
has
yes.
has a casing, and you wouldn't know really what's
Sausage.
inside of it. Sausage.
Ah, okay. Bags O Mystery? Bags
Yeah,
O Mystery.
you should order that tomorrow when you make your stop on your way to your dad's. Be like, I'll have some eggs and some bags of mystery, please. I like this one too. I liked all these. I thought these were good. Gas pipes.
All right.
We used to have there was a guy in college who had gas pipes. It was like Happy Girl, but
So it's a feature of his body.
no.
Right? It's have to do with his voice?
Nope.
A guy in Cookie, you can't tell me who the guy is?
That would give it away.
I'll give it away. Was he one of our friends?
No.
A
He's one of
tiny
the
head.
peop-
He's got like a shrunken tiny head.
No.
He had like a big, huge, round ass.
No.
He always took his shirt off in the summer.
No.
He was 7
You're
feet
gonna-
tall and played basketball. Went on
You're
to
gonna
play
be
in the
so
NBA.
mad when I tell you this. You're
Okay,
gonna be
go
so
ahead. Just
mad.
tell me.
You should get it.
What's
Tight
the-
pants.
How'd you know I was going to be so mad? I am so mad.
Because you should have got that one.
Tight pants guy. Tight
Tight
jeans guy.
jeans guy,
Tight
yeah.
jeans guy, excuse me. I haven't thought about that guy. I think his
Yeah,
name
but
was
that
Mark.
was
His
like
name
in
was
the
Mark, too.
top 4 of the people we pointed out.
You're right. I guess I should. He's the one I think about the least. Shrunken head
Yeah.
guy is the guy that I think about the most.
But you knew exactly when I said tight jeans, you knew.
Yeah, blonde hair, crisply brushed blonde hair, tight jeans.
What if we
with his
called
shirt
him
tucked
gas
in.
pipes guy?
Oh, his name's Mark. We should call him Mark. I think his name was Mark. Might have been something else.
Mark with a C?
No, I think he was a K. I always had like a secret respect for that guy for that reason. I was
Because
like,
he wore his jeans
no,
super tight?
because of his name. I hated his jeans. I
You're
liked
like,
his
I
name.
can't. I wish I could pull it off like him.
I would look so stupid with tight pants like that. I would look
You and
like
your-
a gas bag, or what's the what's the thing for sausage?
Bag of
mi-
mystery.
I would look like a bag of mystery if I wore tight pants.
That Mark is a bag of mystery. Produced by Uncle Pumberchook. Fact-checked by Bill. Theme song by Maggie Ellox. Social media, Cousin Paul at the Magroom Pod. He keeps churning it out.
Good job.
Send us an email, themagroom@hotmail.com. You could send Mark some well wishes.
I'd like that.
Or he would love it better if you sent him a letter
That too.
to the Magroom, 10152 Indiantown Road, P.O. Box 9, Jupiter, Florida, 33478. If you need to send him something but you need it to be secure, you could fax him at 561-744-1831.
Yep.
And I
Doing
actually
great.
remembered next time we do this, we can't have a quiz because we're having our guest about who studies bowel movements at Johns Hopkins.
Well, I think she incontinence, I believe, and I believe she's a specialist in female incontinence. But I thought she sounded interesting, and I thought she could help us with my pooping my pants problem.
Do you think female incontinence doctors are different?
So she made a point of telling me, and I said, well, if you happen to listen to our show, you'll see that I don't need you to be very, very specific about the incontinence. It's me.
Do you think she did listen to the show?
I don't know.
If someone contacted you to be on a podcast, you would probably listen to an episode before you agreed?
She didn't ask us to send her one, though, right? I mean, I told her
No.
the name, and I described the show, and I was honest, so I don't know. Like I said, she told us she had to be, she's a professor of, she's a doctor of urology, I believe.
Yeah, it says
at Johns Hopkins University.
Chi Chuang Grace Chen. Is that her full name?
She goes by, she keeps signing her stuff
Grace.
as G. which
G.
is cool.
So,
Yeah.
urogynecology and reconstructive pelvic surgery.
So I guess now, in retrospect, none of the stuff that she specializes in will imply.
Unless you have a woman's butt.
Right. Which maybe I do.
Maybe that bag of mystery back there is a woman's butt.
So you're bringing the phrase back, but you're changing the meaning up a little bit.
Yeah, I don't know.
An unimpressive male butt that looks like a female butt is now a bag of mystery.
I don't know what's in there. Maybe it's a male butt. Maybe it's a female butt.
It's pretty good.
Bag of mystery. You always have your pants on. I've never seen your butt.
You're right. Maybe I'll bring it out for the doctor. She can sell it. Yeah, that's definitely a man butt, or
yeah, we may be above
a female butt.
We might be above our pay grade to have an actual doctor on.
I thought it would be fun. To try it. Have a serious person on.
That'll be the day after I get back from my trip, so I'll be like totally washed out and
ready to talk.
I hope. We'll see.
To shoot the breeze about me shitting in my pants.
All right. Well, hashtag put down your phone this week.
I keep thinking about life this week, and I keep coming back to how social media is bad for it.
Yeah, I'm reading this book about emotional agility, and part of it is being like present, which is what we just were talking about with your dad before.
Live like Jim. Hashtag live like Jim.
Yeah, live like Jim. Like that's what you lose with the phone.
Yeah, my dad does not have social media, that's for sure.
Yeah, Mr. Einloff, I hope you feel better. Anything you want to say to him that's really like a lot of emotions that you would be harder to say to his face?
When I had my paper route, when I was about like 11, I had a paper route, and I was the worst paper boy in the world. I'd sleep in, I'd deliver them late, I'd show up at 10 instead of 7.
Did you even try to throw them and you didn't make them on?
I got good at throwing them, and I used to know. My dad taught me how to I knew how to tuck. I didn't even need a rubber band, Jarrod. I could just tuck it a certain way, and so yes, I could throw them. But it was
always. But people were getting their paper at noon.
Yeah, I'd get in trouble. Bud Grossman, rest in peace, probably.
Bud, yeah.
Yeah, Dr.
Guy sounds like a boss.
Dr. Grossman to everybody else.
Was he in charge of the paper route, or he was one of your deliveries?
No, he was one of my deliveries.
And he'd call your house?
Yeah, I mean, in retrospect, I remember at the time being like, what's it matter if you get it at 7 in the morning or noon?
Oh, I used to love it in the morning. I used to get mad when we didn't have it in the morning.
Yeah, you would have hated me.
11-year-old Jarrod would have been out yelling at 11-year-old Mark.
Bud. But anyway, Dad used to get mad at me and deliver my papers for me sometimes if I wouldn't wake up or I didn't go or whatever. So, in addition to all the other things that you've done for me in my life, you've always supported me, best friend. You
done things for you when you can't, when you don't do them yourself.
The nicest thing you ever did for me was deliver my papers, Dad. I had a lot on my mind those nights when I had to sleep until noon on a Saturday at age 11.
As Mark knows, if you need a pick-me-up, you can always
stick with the mag room, and everything else is cream cheese. Love you, Dad. Love you, everybody. Thanks for listening. Have a wonderful rest of your week.
Goodbye.
Ooh, ooh, I like my groom. I like my groom. Ooh, ooh, my groom is good. My groom is good. Ooh, ooh, I like my groom. I like my groom. Ooh, ooh, my groom is good. My groom is good. The my groom's good. Ooh, ooh, I like my groom. I like my groom. Ooh, ooh, my groom is good. My groom is good.
Live like Jim.